I'm Sharon Tazwell. Here's your Spectrum News in 90. The nation's highways and airports are crowded with people marking the unofficial start of summer this Memorial Day weekend. Travel volumes are expected to surpass pre-pandemic levels. Thursday was already the second busiest day at U.S. airports ever.
The busiest Memorial Day weekend for road travelers, for road trips in 25 years. A lot of people who maybe didn't travel pre-pandemic are traveling now, so keep that in mind.
The International Court of Justice is ordering Israel to immediately halt its offensive in Rafah. It is the latest rebuke, adding to global pressure on Israel over its war in Gaza. CIA Director William Burns met with Israeli and Qatari officials Friday in Paris to continue ceasefire negotiations. 19 students and 2 teachers killed at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas are being remembered as Friday marks 2 years since one of the deadliest school shootings in U.S. history. Communities, families of the victims have agreed to a $2 million settlement with the city.
It doesn't get easier for these families. You would think that time heals all wounds, but as I talk to my friends in Uvalde, it just doesn't get easier.
Those are your headlines now. Here's your weather on the ones.
Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Nate Harrington. As we head into the busy Memorial Day weekend, a lot of people out and about getting on the roads and traveling. Yeah, more storms, more severe weather across parts of the Great Plains, also the Midwest. And this is going to be a familiar theme for us as we head into the heart of the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, more big-time storms and severe weather expected in the Midwest on Saturday. Extreme heat for folks in the South and a quieter Monday. We'll talk all about it in your forecast coming right up.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Sharon Tazwell. The holiday travel rush in full swing as millions of Americans are hitting the roads and skies this Memorial Day weekend. Friday is expected to be the busiest day of the weekend for air travel. The Transportation Security Administration predicts nearly 3 million people will pass through airport checkpoints Friday. Even more people will be on the roads. AAA says 38 million are expected to hit the roads. And Spectrum News anchor Robert Guadarrama joins me in studio. Robert, this weekend is often referred to as the unofficial start to summer, huh?
That's right. At least I refer to it as that. We're all excited. And people are as well. They are on the move this weekend. TSA screening more than 2.9 million passengers Thursday, the second highest number ever. AAA projects when it's all said and done, 43.8 million travelers will have traveled 50 miles or more. Says that's the most leaving town in about 20 years. We spoke with Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg about the busy weekend. Here's what he had to say to those folks hitting the road.
Make sure to put safety first, especially because on a holiday weekend, many drivers are in an area they have not driven in before. Really important to be patient, allow extra time, and just remember the most important thing is to get to where you're going safely.
And be nice out there.
Yes.
Here are AAA's best and worst travel times to travel. If you haven't left just yet, you'll want to leave from now until 1 p.m. Saturday. You should avoid traveling between 2 and 5 p.m. Saturday. For those returning home on Monday, the worst time to get on the road is between 3 and 7 p.m. For the least amount of traffic, travel after 7. Now, Sharon, as for those taking to the skies, the top destinations for the weekend are Orlando, Seattle, and New York City. Internationally, Rome.
Airlines have also made some major announcements, right?
That's right, and travelers will like to hear this. Just in time for the busy holiday weekend, the White House announcing Spirit Airlines and Frontier Airlines will stop charging change and cancellation fees. This, of course, after calls from President Biden for airlines to end those junk fees.
Yeah, those pesky junk fees. All right, whatever you do, have fun and be safe, right?
Yes.
Robert Guadarrama, thanks. Overseas now to the Middle East. The United Nations is ordering Israel to halt its military offensive in Rafah. It comes as the bodies of 3 Israeli hostages killed in the October 7th attack were recovered in northern Gaza. Spectrum's Charlotte Scott reporting tonight from Washington.
The International Court of Justice, the top United Nations court, said Friday that Israel must halt its military offensive in Gaza, where hundreds of thousands of Palestinian civilians remain and where Israel suspects Hamas fighters.
Israel shall submit a report to the court.
The decision is another blow to Israel's international standing amid concerns over its military tactics in Gaza, where large numbers of civilians have been killed. but the UN doesn't have the means to enforce the decision. In another case before the UN's court, Russia has ignored the court's order to halt its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Israel indicated it is unlikely to comply, declaring on social media, quote, Israel is acting based on its right to defend its territory and its citizens, consistent with its moral values and in compliance with international law, including international humanitarian law. The war in Gaza began when Hamas gunmen stormed into Israel on October 7th, killing 1,200 people, most of them civilians, and taking roughly 250 people hostage. With Israel facing increasing international isolation, House Speaker Mike Johnson announced Thursday that its Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will address Congress soon.
To him coming, it's a lot of important information for him to share, and I think he's anxious to be here.
An international criminal court prosecutor says he will seek arrest warrants for Netanyahu and leaders of Hamas for war crimes. Congressman Mark Pocan, a liberal Democrat from Wisconsin, told Spectrum News that members of Congress should be able to question Netanyahu when he visits.
He may be a war criminal. That's a little different than your standard, leader of another nation coming.
On Friday, the United Nations Security Council also approved a resolution to condemn the attacks on humanitarian workers. In Washington, Charlotte Scott, Spectrum News.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is transferring power temporarily to a top deputy. Austin is undergoing a medical procedure tonight at Walter Reed Medical Center. The 70-year-old continues to deal with bladder issues that arose in December following treatment for prostate cancer. The White House says the procedure is elective and minimally invasive. Austin faced hospitalization from the White House for days before it became public. Donald Trump and independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. are making dueling appearances at the Libertarian Party's National Convention in Washington. And as Spectrum's Evan Kozloff reports, both are making a play for the party's voters, who are largely fiscally conservative and socially liberal.
Independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. framing himself as an alternative as he tries to win over libertarian voters.
Democratic and Republican administrations have taken turns assaulting our constitutional rights and freedoms. You know that. That's why you joined the Libertarian Party.
The longshot candidate is polling far behind President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, but could play a spoiler role. Most polling showing that the attorney and anti-vaccine advocate from a storied parties, which is partially why Trump has increasingly criticized RFK on the trail, as he did just last week while speaking with the NRA.
RFK Jr. says bad things. He calls you a terrorist group, and I call you the backbone of America. That's a big difference, wouldn't you say?
The former president will take the stage himself at the Libertarian Convention on Saturday night as he courts its voters.
I'm not really happy with any of the major candidates.
Allie Oxenblood from West Virginia broke from the Libertarian Party for the first time in 2020 to vote for Trump, but says this year she plans to go back to the Libertarian Party.
And I don't think you're going to find too many people that are going to be too easily swayed, since we did already get to see one presidential run from him.
A presidential candidate doesn't come to a place that's a waste of his or her time.
Meanwhile, rapper and libertarian advocate Maj Touré from Philadelphia was also there and applauded the move by Trump and RFK to try and win over their votes. Right here at the Libertarian Convention, but that has not been approved. President Biden was also invited to speak here, but the campaign declined. Reporting here in Washington, the Evan Kozloff, Spectrum News.
Just ahead on Spectrum News, remembering the victims of the Uvalde shooting 2 years later. What the community says needs to be done to prevent another tragedy.
Spectrum News Plus, news from a new perspective, dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the nation. With balanced reporting, providing real context and in-depth coverage 24 hours a day.
Here's a look at your forecast across the country.
Local stories, connecting communities. We are now on the Spectrum News app and free with your Spectrum subscription.
At Spectrum, we know how much you depend on the reliability of our products and services. Now, we've taken a new step forward in reliability by identifying potential service issues before they become a problem. If you're affected, we'll contact you and help schedule a free service appointment with one of our expert technicians. The proactive maintenance of our network is one of the many reasons Spectrum delivers the most reliable internet speeds in the nation. Spectrum, keeping you connected.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Talked about the severe weather risk that as we start the Memorial Day holiday weekend, Saturday is going to be the most pressing threat. A lot of unfortunate severe weather over the last couple of weeks. The month of May has been an historic severe weather month, and we're going to add to it, unfortunately, it looks like, on Saturday. Oklahoma City, Wichita, mainly central Oklahoma, central Kansas, a level 4 out of 5. Long track tornadoes will be possible. Giant hail, damaging wind gusts. All of it is on the table for folks there through Saturday. And it mainly looks like Saturday late afternoon and evening. For the balance of Saturday morning and around midday, things will be pretty quiet, but the atmosphere will start churning right around 6, 7 o'clock. You notice storms could form from mid-Oklahoma all the way down to the Dallas Metroplex and into central Kansas. All of it translates into the upper Midwest, and folks in Iowa again, possibly Missouri, Illinois, seeing storms very early in the morning, afternoon, and evening. We'll get to that in just a little bit. And if you don't see severe weather on Saturday, you're going to see extreme heat, especially the southern tier of the nation, right along the Gulf Coast. We're talking actual temperatures in the low and mid 90s. But with the humidity factored in, we're looking at heat index values, what it feels like outside, in the triple digits, 105, 110, possibly 115. And then you go farther north, the upper Midwest, the Pacific Northwest, enjoying some pretty quiet and cool weather for Saturday of Memorial Day. And if we didn't need another reminder, the hurricane season forecast came out on Thursday. The National Hurricane Center now tracking an area probably not going to form, but something's out there brewing in the Atlantic. Only about a week until hurricane season starts June 1st.
Years since a gunman opened fire inside a Uvalde, Texas elementary school, killing 19 students and 2 teachers. Spectrum's Jose Arredondo is on the ground with a look at how community members are coming together to honor the victims.
It's been a pretty calm day here in Uvalde, Texas. It may seem like just another Friday, but it's not. Today marks 2 years since 19 students and 2 teachers were killed at Robb Elementary. Arnulfo Reyes doesn't want anyone to forget about the tragedy.
Yeah, we just want to let people know that we haven't forgotten and we're still here.
He waved this orange flag for 77 minutes, the color representing gun violence awareness. 77 minutes. That's how long it took for law enforcement to enter the classroom and kill the shooter. Reyes was one of the teachers shot. Everything.
I feel that there's a sadness throughout the town still.
Even on this heavy day, Reyes finds time to laugh and smile, telling stories of his colleagues Eva Mireles and Irma Garcia, who died protecting their students.
Oh, they were funny. They were very funny. I mean, I got to work with Eva for a long time because we did work study together. We did all of that together, had classes together in college.
Eva, Irma, and the 19 students were an extension of his family. That's why he's pushing for change on this painful day.
It still takes a lot out of me, but I go home and rest, and then I come back.
Hoping folks will never have to feel the physical, emotional pain gun violence can inflict on a community.
Hopefully that my followers on Facebook and Instagram, hopefully that they start doing something similar in their communities. Because it's not just a Uvalde thing, it's not just a Texas thing, it's
a U.S. soldier arrested in Russia this month on theft charges will remain in custody. According to a Russian state news agency, Staff Sergeant Gordon Black lost an appeal Friday to have his arrest overturned and be released. Officials say the 34-year-old traveled to Russia to see a longtime girlfriend who he's accused of stealing from. Black was stationed in South Korea and was in the process of returning home to Texas before his arrest in Russia. He'll remain in custody until at least July. A married couple from the U.S. has been killed in Haiti serving as missionaries. Davy and Natalie Lloyd were coming out of a church when gang members ambushed them. Missions in Haiti, the organization the couple worked for, says the couple was shot and killed hours later. The White House issued a statement saying, quote, "Our hearts go out to the families of those killed as they experience unimaginable grief." A third person was also killed. A new study in the New England Journal of medications like Ozempic lower the risk of severe diabetic kidney disease. Researchers say the risk of kidney failure and death from kidney or cardiovascular disease for those taking the meds went down by 24%. The risk of heart attack was 18% lower. It's never too early to get a head start in your career. One Wisconsin high school has partnered with CEOs of Tomorrow. That's a nonprofit organization that prepares students to be entrepreneurs. Spectrum's Cody Taylor spoke to students who started a car wash business.
Damian Gallegos is the co-founder of Splash and Dash. Gallegos is also a junior at the Prairie Phoenix Academy.
So here we have, they're drying off the car here. They just got done cleaning it and wiping it down with soap, as you can see here.
Gallegos says he started Splash and Dash in October. He says he's learning about every aspect of business, including finance, advertising, and entrepreneurship.
We sort of built here like a little community here. We became friends, and honestly, it's a little social environment for everybody here.
Nevaeh Reed is a junior at Prairie Phoenix Academy who works at Splash and Dash. Reed says they clean 2 cars a day after school.
If you have a clean car, you have a clean mind. So I want to help people that might not have a clean mind.
All the money made by students goes to the students. For Reed, Splash and Dash is her second job. She says it helps her to support her family.
Working hard is important, and people will see your hard work, and it will pay off.
Gallegos says he hopes starting this business will help him find a job in the future.
Working under pressure and being able to show others how to even do the job in case like other people need help, you can show them, and it's a good life skill to have, to be able to clean your car and know what it looks like to be clean.
Splash and Dash has been operating at the Prairie Phoenix Academy for 2 semesters. Gallegos and Reed hope that after they reporting in Sun Prairie. Cody Taylor, Spectrum News.
Coming up on Spectrum News is graduation season. How one Ohio school's graduating class is not just seeing double, but triple.
Here's the deal. In this election year, people need a place to explore national issues that have an impact on their community. To understand those issues better, we're bringing together our team of local political journalists from across the country to break down what's happening. So join us every week to catch up on the key stories making a big difference across the nation and in your local community.
Watch The Big Deal with Errol Lewis Friday nights at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Spectrum News Plus. Available on all of your favorite devices exclusively on Spectrum.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Transition from Saturday severe weather risk into Sunday severe weather risk. The second day of the long weekend. It's going to impact some folks. Now, the western side of the country looking really good, but more severe weather. Now, this is the carryover from some of the storms that we will see in the Midwest. Saturday, Indiana, Kentucky by Sunday late afternoon, and those will continue through the evening hours as well. So all of those storms that formed in Oklahoma and Kansas by early Sunday morning, moving across Missouri, Illinois, into portions of Indiana. Hey, the Indy 500, a little dicey, could be interrupted by some strong and severe storms. We'll keep our eyes on that for Sunday afternoon, the big race there. But a very active weather pattern on Sunday as a big area of low pressure continues to spin in the northern end of the country. Now, this is going to drag a cold front across the eastern side of the country by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday. But before that, again, Sunday, nice, cool weather across parts of the north and west. Billings at 66, Denver, sunshine and 74. Beautiful Sunday. Again, dealing with extreme heat and humidity across the southern tier. The southern plains, the Gulf, you're going to see heat index values as high as 110 to 115 on Sunday afternoon. Then showers and storms start to take shape across the eastern side of the country with more, again, extreme heat to the south and more very pleasant conditions. Monday, across the northern half of the country, the upper Midwest, the Great Plains, looking fantastic. Beautiful Memorial Day there. But you notice Monday, there's the cold front scooting across the eastern side of the country. That means showers, maybe some thunderstorms, but no severe weather risk as of right now. We'll keep our eyes peeled on that. And then by Tuesday, the front will be off the coast and cooler, drier air starts to spill in. Notice some of this. We've got some really cool numbers headed for folks in the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic states, while folks across the midsection of the country are going to see another warm-up. So, West, let's be careful out there traveling. Let's be patient with the flight delays, but it does look like by Monday and Tuesday, things will settle down and cool off for the eastern half of the country.
Documentary filmmaker Morgan Spurlock, who famously ate only McDonald's for a month to demonstrate the dangers of eating fast food, has died. The 53-year-old died from complications of cancer, according to his family. The Oscar winner became a sensation in 2004 with his documentary Super Size Me, and again in 2019 with Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken. NASA is now aiming to launch Boeing's Starliner mission on June 1st. The launch will be Boeing's first astronaut launch. Weeks of review determine the capsule can safely fly with 2 test pilots, despite a small leak in the propulsion. Leak, even if it worsens, could be managed in flight. All right, so it's May, and for many that means graduation season. Students and parents celebrating a job well done. In Ohio, one graduating class shares a bond so special that you're seeing double and even doing a triple take. Well, Spectrum's Aaliyah Keller has the story.
Side by side, each in uniform, pairs of twins walk through the school. 5 sets of twins and 1 set of triplets, to be exact, making up 20% of St. Bridget of Kildare School's 8th grade graduating class in Ohio. This milestone is extra special for the Sego triplets, Lila, JD, and Mia.
There's 13 of us, so that's pretty cool. And the fun thing is we're all pretty close. We're all really good friends. So it's nice to have other people you relate to in your grade. It's really.
But she and her sister are identical.
Right now her hair is longer and mine's shorter, but my eyes are always squintier and hers aren't.
Let's talk about Confucianism.
Teacher Karen DeLucia says the twins and triplets are are easy to mix up, even the fraternal ones.
Seating charts are very helpful. So in the hallway, it's just kind of, the more you get to know them, though, the easier it becomes. You get to know their personalities and their demeanor.
Miss DeLucia would know. She's been in their shoes herself.
I actually went through St. Bridget from 3rd grade until 8th grade with my other two identical. I'm an identical triplet, and we're all girls.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Nearly all sets will head into high school together, all except the Funkhauser twins.
I'm going to Waterston next year, and Nathan's going to St. Charles, so we'll be in 2 different schools, which will
each with a bond so unique.
High school's like a big scary thing, so being able to have a twin by your side is awesome.
For Spectrum News, I'm Aaliyah Keller.
I'm Sharon Tazwell. Thanks for watching. Our Spectrum News in 90 is coming up right after this short break. Stay with us.
At Spectrum News, we're committed to strengthening the fabric of local communities through our reporting, with stories that inspire and news that matters. Streaming live on your smart TV and connected devices. It's all there as you step outside with the Spectrum News mobile app, keeping you informed and in the know throughout your day. Spectrum News Plus, local stories, connecting communities. Exclusively for Spectrum customers. Now available on your favorite devices.
At Spectrum, our workforce of over 100,000 employees are all located right here in the U.S. You can find them in our stores, in the field, and in our call centers with 100% U.S.-based customer service. Our team works hard to provide the towns, cities, and neighborhoods they live in with the reliable services that everyone counts on, making us one of America's most trusted companies. We're Spectrum, creating jobs and opportunities across the country, and proud to be 100% U.S.-based.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.